Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and we're about to deal the final blow to Yu Yevon, aka he's basically like the Mr. McMahon of Final Fantasy X. Okay, Mr. McMahon wasn't Canadian. He's not a tutorial either, but the reference still fits. Just go with it. Pardon that noise, that was me bumping the table. So that puts us at the final score of 18-2 in this Iron Man contest. That's kind of a cool, boss-destroying sequence. Eternal vaporizing. I don't know what else to call that. But now we've just completely radically shifted everyone's outlook on the world in Final Fantasy X. That's one thing I do like about this game is they've had this problem with Sin coming back every 10 years and trying to defeat it, and now we've just defeated it permanently. And now, instead of just having a 10-year calm, we're about to have an eternal calm. So these people are celebrating, not like they would normally celebrate during a calm, but celebrating knowing that it's not going to end in 10 years. They're going to have a completely new outlook on life, new outlook on the world of Spira that they're in. Really cool. We've got some very quiet, somber music for this moment. That kind of fits the music of a lot of this game. But since we defeated Yu Yevon and defeated Sin permanently, that means all the Faith now get to rest. And you can see there's Val 4 there. So now they're just turning into lifeless stone. Which is no different than any other just stone rock. I'm guessing that one is Shiva. And this one's Bahamut. But that also means if all the Faith now get to take their rest, the Faith of Zanarkand that were, dreaming or summoning Tidus, they also are going to get to rest. And we're still here. And Yuna's performing the final sending. And realizing that Auron is dead.
Don't stop.
But
It's all right.
Yes, it is. You've withheld plot information from us the entire game.
It's been long enough.
And so Warren gets to play his theme music one last time. That's what happens in wrestling. When you win a match, your theme music plays. Although I will say one thing about Final Fantasy X. This is a very nice ending sequence. I do really like it. And here we go with the final sending. Now we're sending the Aeons. And we're somehow back on our ship. I don't know. Just go with it. Yep, there goes our Aeons. And again, a very sad and somber music here. Very cool scene, though. Oh, and there's Tidus. Those must be the dreams of the Faith coming to an end.
Yuna.
I like Yuna's reaction there. She just shakes her head.
I'm sorry I couldn't show you Xanarkand. Goodbye.
Hey! We're gonna see
You know, you could just stand there until you disappear. You don't have to go, like, run and jump off the airship or anything.
Yuna!
And of course, it can't just be like all the other dreams of the Faith that are just instantly vanish. You have to give Tidus the slow vanishing effect. Give him a little extra time, a little more than the others. That's what you get for being a main character. You get to bend the rules a little. Yeah, he should technically already be gone. Yeah, Yuna, the only problem is your boyfriend there existed 1,000 years in the past, and is now only just a dream or memory today. But apparently dreamy enough where he can come back for one final hug, despite that going against all sorts of logic of, yeah, you know, that. Again, why is this necessary? I guess it's kind of a first-person point of view way of traveling to the far plane, I guess. Oh, Yuna, don't do that.
Yuna, it's time.
Oh, it's the victory speech. Or victory party. For the new heavyweight champion of the world.
Everyone has lost something precious. Everyone here has lost homes, dreams, and friends. Everybody, now, Sin is finally dead. Now, Spira is ours again. Working together. Now we can make new homes for ourselves. And new dreams. Although I know the journey will be hard, we have lots of time.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Sin coming back in 10
Together,
years.
we will rebuild Spira. The road is ahead of us. So let's start out today. Just one more thing. The people and the friends that we have lost. No dreams left for me. Never forget them.
Alright, so final review time of Final Fantasy X. You know, Ty Dillinger might give this game a perfect 10, but me personally, I rank it more along the lines of average. I'll post my Final Fantasy personal rankings of the Final Fantasy games in the description. So Final Fantasy X will fall in the average section of the tiers. I've kind of separated the Final Fantasy series into 3 tiers: the good tier, or my favorites, the average tier, and then the batted/hated tier. And Final Fantasy X, it's gonna fit. It's not really changing position too much, but it's gonna fit right in the average tier, right below Final Fantasy XII, actually. And I am going to make an adjustment, though. I am going to move Final Fantasy 1 and 3 down to the average tier, just because I had a lot of fun with 10 and 12, and even though they do have their flaws, I had a fun adventure. It was a fun adventure enough to where I could say that I'd like playing them again, probably more so than Final Fantasy 1 and 3. But anyways, Final Fantasy X, things I liked about it. I liked the turn-based combat system. I liked the sphere grid was an okay idea. The issue I have with it, which doesn't really affect the main game, it affects more of the post-game, is the whole being able to it's ultimately a system where everyone is going to be able to learn and do everything all at once. That's not really the case for the main game, so I can let that aspect slide. If you guys know me, if you've been watching my RPGs, I really dislike having a whole bunch of characters that are essentially the same. I like job classes where characters can have very specific roles, or very set and predetermined roles that don't change, such as like Final Fantasy IV. Other things, I like the focus on the 4 elements, and those came into play a lot with enemy weaknesses and such. I like that this, well, I'd say I recommend that this is a great entry point to RPGs, or to the Final Fantasy series in general. Final Fantasy X is one of the easier RPGs. As you can see, we only got a couple game overs, and that was on like some of the later, more difficult bosses of the game. So even your first time through, if you struggle a little bit, you know, it's not. There's no like massive difficulty spikes. Maybe Braska's final and maybe a couple moments here or there, but otherwise, no, that didn't happen too much. I really like the music set for Final Fantasy X. Not as big of a fan of the boss fight music as I enjoy boss fight musics of other Final Fantasies, but it was still serviceable. And the other music, I like the main battle theme, the random battle theme. That one's, I find, very catchy. I like some of the other tunes, musics in this game, especially Yuna's theme. But there's just a lot more like somber, calm music in Final Fantasy X, and it really fits well with the whole theme of the game. On to things I don't like, which is why it's in the average tier. Well, I've ranted enough throughout this entire Let's Play about Auron's role withholding plot information and all that. I'm not going to go over that again, but I'll just mention it here. Another thing, the combat system. It was cool to have, you know, 7 characters and have them be able to tag in and out one at a time at will. But where that kind of falls flat with me is if you're trying to build up all 7 characters, which you do have plot-related reasons to do throughout the game, because each character does have sections where you're going to be stuck with only using a few characters, whether you're in a water area or you have to use Kimahri for one specific battle or something. So there's reasons to want to build them all up, but in order to do that, each of them have to take an action in battle. And so that leads to a lot of times where you're just tagging characters in and having them do nothing, just equip their weapon or armor in battle. And it just, I don't like that. I would rather have a system like, if you're going to do this, like Breath of Fire 4, where everyone just gets the experience at the end of battle, regardless of how much they participated, or if they participated at all. That would have just been one little tweak thing that would fix the whole thing for me. Hastka tends to make this game really easy, and even takes some of the challenge out of some of the more challenging fights. But yeah, overall, enjoyable adventure. There's a good amount of good mix between battling and cutscenes. Pretty good pacing, in my opinion. Again, just some of the things that do annoy me. Now, Final Fantasy X-2, since it is on this disc, I will get to it eventually. That I'm not looking forward to that. I do not have a high opinion of that game, but I haven't played it all the way through, so it does have potential to jump up in my personal opinion tier list of the Final Fantasy games. So it has the most potential of any of them to change. But yeah. Do stay tuned though, because I am going to show you guys next time the Eternal Calm. It's a bonus. It's basically bonus cutscene videos. Goes about 15 minutes, and I'll commentate over them. And yeah, there's Tidus again. And yeah, we'll go over what that is. And we'll put this game to bed after all of that. So, yeah, do stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Love this music.